Alright, so welcome back to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get straight into today's video because in today's video we're going to be updating our best teams guide. It has been a very long time since we did our best teams guide video, and if we just go to our YouTube channel, the last time that we did actually do the video was 8 months ago. So 8 new characters have been released, one each month. This video has been requested multiple times over the last couple of weeks, so we are going to be updating our best teams guide in this video, as you guys can see. Now, we're going to be mainly focusing on Inter-Server Summit War, obviously, because Arena, we'll do a little bit on Arena at the end of the video, but Arena, there isn't a quote-unquote best team in the game. We'll be going over what the top players run at the moment, and what you can run, early game if you don't have certain characters. But obviously, the best teams in the game kind of haven't changed since 8 months ago. We've just had basically upgraded characters of older versions. So like Orochi's basically just kicked out Katakuri for the block raid team. Some people still use Katakuri, but not in the block raid team. We just had basically upgraded versions. Alright, so let's go into the first team. Obviously, the Nickelodeon team hasn't really changed that much. There's just more options, like I said, since the last 8 months. So obviously, you got to run these two characters, Nickelodeon and Kaido Dragon Form, to get the revive and the double stats on his passive. And then you normally run 4 Curse Seals with him. Now, the new addition to the team is actually Buggy of the 4 Emperors, because his potential 2 passive is absolutely amazing on the Nickelodeon team. And then, obviously, you need a 3rd attack type crew for Buggy's passive, so normally that will be Marine Hero Carp. You can also use Sanji Germa as well. It's just anyone that is ice, that is an ice spirit, will mainly be used. So most people use Marine Hero Carp because his passive also works with 4 Curse Seals. And then you just need your Dark and Sand character. Now, most of the top players at the moment are currently using Blackbeard on the Nickelodeon team as the Dark character. It's absolutely amazing. I do highly recommend using that. It just frees up General Frankie to be on your 3rd team or another team, which is absolutely amazing. So this team, and then your Sand character, it really depends on what you want to do. So what some players do is they run Potential 6 Rayleigh. Now you might be saying, why are we running Rayleigh? Well, Potential 6 Rayleigh is actually really, really good. He absorbs the stats. He basically has Splash on his ultimate, but his Splash absorbs the characters around. So he attacks the crew and then he absorbs all that crew and all the crew around. He's absolutely amazing. And then he can be invincible as well for an entire turn and take no damage. That can activate more than once, by the way, which is absolutely insane. So that's why a lot of the top players do use Potential 6 Rayleigh. Otherwise, another option is Zephyr, which is absolutely amazing because his Potential 2 passive enhances your defense and attack type crew. And on this team, you have 3 attack type crew and then you have 2 defense type crew. So you're boosting 5 characters at once. So he's absolutely amazing as well if you're not using Rayleigh. This is what I would consider the best Nickelodeon team in the game at the moment for Summit War. Because obviously you want to have the 3 strongest teams in the game. You don't want to make just one strong team with all the best characters on it. So otherwise some people run like Katakuri. They can still run, Gen Frankie. You can always run SAL. SAL is absolutely amazing. We'll get over him in just a sec. But that's the Nickelodeon team. I do, as I said, feel the Buggy variant is the best variant in the entire game because anti-revive is completely broken. I would run this as a speed type team, so all your speed flags on this team, because if this team just goes first, anti-revive, you're just going to basically win every single time. It's really broken. But next up, let's go over the block raid team, the Sand team. Now this team's had a few upgrades over the last 8 months with Zeus, Nami, and Orochi. Absolutely amazing characters, literally made for the team. So you'll see a lot of players running both of those two. Obviously you need Bullet for the passive, then people run Yamato or they'll run Zephyr if they're not using him on the Nickelodeon team. as the third defense type, and then most of the players, if not all players, run Surkrok on this team. Just to stop the enemy from ulting turn 1, it's absolutely amazing defense type team, very heavy on the defense, and you will mainly see 3 skill type and 3 defense type in order to maximize Zeus Nami's passive. So that's the whole point of the team. With Zoro is amazing as well. His passive just makes it even tankier. I've seen some people use General Frankie on the team. You know, there's so many different options you can use. I would say Law, but Law is obviously bugged. He's only great if you have, you know, higher speed than your opponent. Some people use SAL. SAL potential 6 is absolutely insane character. If you're not building this guy, you should be building this guy. This guy's insane. They'll usually run him early in the team. But if you have potential 6 SAL, he absorbs damage bonus and damage reduction of the whole enemy team. Infinitely stacking, by the way. So he's absolutely amazing. He has the revenge effect on his passive. He's so tanky with defense, creep resistance on his passive. It's still by far the best combo card in the game, in my opinion. Because the other combo card, the Beast Pirates, through my testing, I found they were very squishy. They would just get one shot by even just Sea Kings if you didn't have 6-star Zoro. Whereas, as I said, SAL has that built-in 30% damage reduction permanently. Revenge effect with the reflect is just absolutely amazing. So, yeah, one big tip from this video. If you haven't got SAL or you're trying to figure out what's the best combo card to invest in, SAL is absolutely amazing. I highly recommend building him up. Some other variants that some players use, they run like Marco or Luffy Taro on a more defense type team because Luffy Taro obviously stacks infinitely. So if you put him on a heavy defense type team, he can just keep stacking and dealing more and more damage. This variant's completely up to you. I wouldn't run it at the moment because Luffy Taro's splash damage on his ultimate is bugged. It doesn't work. So you'll see a lot of players don't use Luffy Taro at the moment, just like Law. But yeah, with the 2 addition of Zeus Nami and Orochi, this team's gotten even stronger. And Zoro Ashura, absolutely amazing. Now going into the third team is basically all the meta characters that those players don't use in their first 2 teams. So a lot of people usually run a General Frankie team as their third team. With, you know, Chopper, Nami, Val. If you're not running Nami, Val on your Nickeloofy team, a lot of people still run Nami, Val on the Nickeloofy team, which is perfectly fine if you're not running the buggy variant. But if you're running the buggy variant, obviously you're going to run her on your third team because she is one of the best SD characters, straight dive characters. So you always want to have her in your Summer War lineup. You know, people might run a team like this, for example. This might be too many skill type, like 4 skill type. You kind of don't want to run 4 skill type. But yeah, it really depends on what you do for your first 2 teams. For your third team, it'll depend on what your third team is. It's all the meta characters that aren't used on your first 2 teams. Alright, so that's all the Summer War teams. Obviously, Nickeloofy team, Block Raid team, and then the third team can be a speed team if you're not using a buggy variant. You're just using a standard Nickeloofy team. Some people just run a full-on speed team with their highest speed characters. But it really depends on what you do for your first 2 teams. Will depend on what you do for your third team. Let's briefly go over Arena because at the start of the video I did say there isn't quote-unquote a best team in Arena. What some of the top players do is they actually run obviously the 3 weight characters with Kaido Dragonform for the Nickeloofy part of the passive. And then what you'll find is they'll run Orochi or General Frankie, either of these 2. Or they might run both of them. And it'll just be a team like this. You don't actually run Nickeloofy's full passive. Because there are that many broken characters since 8 months ago that the best arena teams actually don't use Nickeloofy's passive. You can still run a standard Nickeloofy team and it's still absolutely amazing. But what a lot of the players have found is, yeah, there are just too many broken characters in the game. Just put all the most broken characters in the game on one team, and it's absolutely insanely good. So some people don't even run General Frankie. They might run SAL. If you're gonna use SAL, I'd probably just remove Orochi and use Frankie because the double reflect, he does rebound, he does revenge damage, is actually absolutely insane. They might run in back row, probably run something like this. Probably run something like this. Some people, I believe Natoru still runs Nami Val. I believe he runs this team on his arena team. It's either Nami Val or Zeus Nami first. I'm pretty sure he runs it like this because he has potential 6 as Zeus Nami. But you get the point. The best teams for arena don't really use Nick Luffy's passive anymore because there are that many broken characters in the game. But if you're not running Nick Luffy, you probably just recommend a team like this. If you do have Zori and Zeus Nami, that is. It's probably going to be one of the strongest teams in the game. You know, Marco, Gen Frankie, SAL with Gen Frankie, absolutely amazing. Zoro, this team is just absolutely amazing right here. If you don't have Nick Luffy. But yeah, if you have Nick Luffy, you want to put in Nick Luffy and Kaido Dragonform, and as I said, you just run that. You just run those styles of team. As I said previously, you're just mainly all the broken characters in the game. But yeah, as I said, a standard Nick Luffy team is still really good as well. So that's the best teams in the game at the moment. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video on the best teams in the game, and I really hope it helped you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.